Hello folks, this is another video log. This is the Archaeology of Archaeology. This is part 4. Lots of these classes were taught some weeks back and I'm trying to get desperately up to date. So what we're going to do is, this is Karl-James Langford, this is channel 01 to 1975, and we're going to try and sort of unravel or try and put some perspective onto Khufu's Great Pyramid on the Giza Plains. So let's give a few facts to start off with before I ramble. It's believed to have been constructed somewhere between about 2580 to about 2560 years BC. In modern money, that's approximately 4,600 years ago. So it was believed to have been the tallest structure for nearly 4,000 years. It was one of the tallest structures on the planet. Lots of the outer casing stones, limestone, had been removed. It was believed to have been constructed under the orders of Khufu over possibly, some believe, a 20 to 30 year period. A few bits about volume. Approximately 2.3 million blocks were used in its construction. We can say that about 6 million tons of limestone and sandstone was used in its construction. It was surveyed and surveyed and surveyed over again, but the precise measurements used and calculated by Sir Findus Petrie in the 1880s were still being used as the bog standard measurements by many Egyptologists, archaeologists, up until very recent years. What do we know about it? No major treasures have been found in it because it was looted in antiquity, king, queen chambers and all that stuff. But this isn't a video log to look at the ins and outs of this Great Pyramid. It's more of a video log to try and understand or trying to get to grips how it was constructed more than anything. Lots of the stones used in its construction, if you want to look at an average, about 2 to 3 tons each. But it's doable. Any thought of reconstructing anything like this hasn't been done or could be ever conceived. It would need a government to fund the rebuilding of a complete pyramid to really understand how this pyramid was originally constructed. So what I want us to do is look at a few slides and try and understand what's going on. So first slide we're going to be looking at is this one that shows somebody's idea to how this pyramid, Khufu's Great Pyramid, this 6 million ton structure was constructed. Some say that it was constructed on a series of gantries, cantilever walkways to get the stones up. Now others believe that to actually get the stones, the 2 to 3 ton stones, some less than that, some even more than that, to the top was through a series of pulleys, counterbalancing pulleys, where the counterweight of a stone would take the stone all the way to the top. But then again, was it constructed like this? More like a ziggurat of the old Babylonian kingdom, which you can say most of the ziggurats were constructed well after this date, 4,600 years ago. But when you think about it, could it be conceivably built like this? Okay, or maybe some believe possibly, okay, thinking out of the box, okay, it was constructed using a very long ramp. Some say that this very long ramp could have been up to a mile long, a mile to 20 miles in length, a huge ramp which would have needed daily stabilization, and the ramp itself would have to be a considerable height for many miles to get the top apex stones all the way to the top of this wonderful pyramid. Okay, this isn't the only pyramid in Egypt. there are a number of other pyramids. We believe that maybe some say that there's hundreds of pyramids in Egypt. Many haven't been discovered. Many were made of mud brick and not stone, but there's at least, thinking about it, there are at least 100 identifiable pyramids in Egypt. Now, from the base to the top apex, it's been guesstimated that the pyramid, if you use modern sighting instruments, is 138.8 meters in height. When it was cladded, it would have been cladded with the limestone blocks, which were taken away throughout the years to break down and make lime for the construction of Cairo. You know, when it was being used as a early Christian city, and when it was being used as a Muslim citadel by the AD 700s. But when you think about this site, how was it constructed? And this is coming back to that question again. Was it the ramp theory? This is an interesting one, where what you do, you build tiers and you gradually build it up, and you actually sort of drag the stones all the way up. Now think about it. If you've got one block and you're starting at the bottom, to use this technique where it's got a system of spiraling ramps to get all the way to the top, it might take a whole day for a block to get all the way to the top. It's not really practical. It's estimated that you've got to move, okay? You've got to move 10, 15, 20 of these blocks every single day. No, start again. Ooh, mistake. You've got to move 10, 15, 20 of these blocks every single hour, okay, through a normal working day, to actually get them to the top or to move them into place. These are lots of blocks. These are over 100 blocks that need to be put in place. Hundreds of blocks need to be put in place every single day. So is it this way? The image in front of you, is it this way that these blocks are being moved to the top? Now there's another theory. If you look at this illustration, you can see in the edges, along the edges, that there's little bits, little nicks taken out. Some believe that it was built. The outside was constructed first, and then the inside was constructed next. How that precisely works, there are many weird, quirky theories on that. But there's almost seemingly evidence that there was some kind of wooden rail set up inside the final pyramid apex, and it was just filled. It was filled then. The inside was filled in last. If you can get that theory in your head, it's a very weird one, but we're going to come on to that in a short while. Here's another bit of a theory that as you're going up on the steps of the pyramid, they were sort of cantilevered back and forth to actually get a block further up. Now, this obviously averts the need to take a block in a spiral effect all the way around the pyramid, which would take a day to get one block anywhere. So it seems to be a little bit more sensible. But this is that theory. Now, forget the writing on there. I taught this class. I taught the Cheops construction of the pyramid I taught it on three occasions, and when I was doing that, I was looking at the descriptions and all the rest of it to try and work out how this pyramid was constructed and all the other pyramids, and none of them made any sense. So just listen to me and we'll carry on. Some believe that one side of the pyramid was constructed first, right? And that's great, okay. And then you start to step and push out the pyramid, as on this diagram, towards the right, and you need loads of scaffolding, right? The problem is you would have needed thousands of tons of timber scaffolding to construct this. Now, just one quick thing. Most of the people who are utilized in the construction of these pyramids in Egypt, this great, huge pyramid, for the sake of argument, 150 meters in height, okay? It's not that, 146, 138, whatever measurements, but say 150 meters in height as you look at it. The people, it's believed, did built the pyramid in the service of the pharaoh. They did it because they wanted to assist the pharaoh. They did it for the love of the pharaoh. And basically everybody in Egypt served a year to help, Khufu and Cheops and all the other great pharaohs. But the evidence comes of that because we've actually found, the builders' houses, not the architects or the great stonemasons. We actually started to find the builders' houses. We got an idea of their diet, bread, beer. We got an idea that they had decent homes around the plateau of the pyramid, and basically they did it in service of the pharaoh. Okay, but the point is, this wood itself, that's more material needed, as well as all the stone needed and all the tools and all the food and all the rest of it. So cutting down, hundreds of acres of forest over a period of 20-30 years is a lot of timber. So are you using scaffolding? Can't really reject any of this because we don't really know. Now, when I was talking about the corners of the pyramids being taken out, okay, you can see this here, the edges. To avert the sun's glaze, you can actually, inside the pyramid, in the walls of the pyramid, it is doable. What you do is you drag the stones inside to actually get to the top, and then you complete the top bit, and then you complete the bottom, and as you're doing all that, you sort of fill in the inside. Glazing over yet? Hopefully not. But again, fascinating theories. If you think about it, there's been thousands of books written about the construction of these pyramids, Khufu's pyramid, and the other 99 plus pyramids in Egypt. Nobody's really come up with a plausible theory. It's just reinventing the wheel. Flinders Petrie in the 1880s wrote down what he could see. There's believed to be loads of different passages and stuff still to be found inside the pyramid, which might actually not lead to treasure, might actually lead to the actual answers to how this pyramid was actually constructed. Now, do we have any sort of contemporary writers? Is there any contemporary people writing about the pyramid? Anybody in the moment saying, actually, this is how it was constructed? Okay, the answer is sort of no. And there's doubts whether this was actually constructed for Khufu, because there's only one inscription dedicated to Khufu in the pyramid. Okay, so it makes things a bit weird. Okay, moving on. So looking again, trying to get some sense. It's very insulting to suggest or to postulate that this pyramid, because we don't know how it was built by aliens or another technology, or another peoples or another civilization. And in fact, this great pyramid was not in fact constructed by Khufu. It was constructed by an earlier civilization. And I feel that I can't really argue for that. But then again, these three great pyramids in Giza are relatively unique compared with all the other pyramids. The bent pyramid of Djoser and all the other pyramids were built specifically, mud, brick, stone and all the rest of it. But I was talking to somebody who's actually studied ancient Egypt, and there's evidence, if you put the Sphinx in there, saying that there was a cataclysmic disaster before the pharaohs, and all that was left on the landscape of Egypt were these three pyramids and some of the sphinxes. And then the pharaoh dynasties rose, and then they built other pyramids, and Khufu decided to have this pyramid dedicated to, even though it was constructed. Now, don't quote me on that. Just do your own research and you'll find loads of sort of different theories like that. Okay, there you go. This little description showing the ramp theory. Again, just think of that ramp. Oh my God, the ramp itself would have been over 140 meters in height. How wide would that pyramid have been? The ramp would have actually been wider than the actual ground dimensions of the pyramid. So, let's sort of think of that. Is it this ramp? Back to this ramp thing again. The base measurements 230 meters. Okay, those are the base measurements on one side, A to B, B to C. So the ramp would have actually been over 130 meters in width. Okay, maybe bigger than that, and all that height. The width bigger than the width of any railway station platform to be found anywhere in Britain. This is a sort of counterbalance theory. But then again, you've got lots of attachments needed. And one thing I would actually specifically say or look at is, this is sort of some conservation work of a site in Egypt, and to really understand how one of these great pyramids is constructed would be to have a government to fund the construction of one of these pyramids on any scale, and then you might be able to actually understand how they're put together. There's no point doing it on a small scale. Look, or do it on big scale. Now, there's the theory of building it sort of outside in. We build the outside and then you sort of build the inside. There's another theory on that. Illustration showing the ramp, not over the length. Yeah, that's think about it there. That's over 1 kilometre. That's too high. You couldn't really get anything up there. Now, as we slowly develop this and we sort of move in with the way this pyramid was constructed, and all the other pyramids, and even the mud brick ones, because some believe that the sledges were used with the great blocks placed in almost barrel-like containers, which were simply rolled along like big hay bales. Hay bales out there can be about 1 ton in weight. I've tried to push hay bale by myself. No way. Big hay bales can be about 1 ton in weight. So when you think about it, a circular hay bale being pushed by a couple of people with a bit of momentum. So 2 people, momentum, pushing, or 3 people pushing like a hay bale, 1 ton, times that by 3, 6 tons. Okay, bad mathematics, 9, 10. Oh, start again. Muck that up. Sorry, folks. Moving a hay bale maybe 3 tons in weight. A single 1 ton hay bale would take 2 people, needing 6 people to move that hay bale, which if it was 3 tons. If you're thinking about these big boulders being 3 tons in weight, maybe 6 people could actually push it. There you go. Nice bit of a theory, and it'd be more compacted as well. Sorry for the little thingy there. A mud brick pyramid. Obviously, again, height. Lots of these across Egypt, and maybe some kind of rail track system was used to pull these blocks along. We don't know because we haven't got any of the evidence, but maybe. We don't know. But obviously these doing it in the service of the pharaoh didn't like this illustration much because the rope is too slack. And then finally, giving you a scale of these huge blocks, these huge boulders at Khufu's pyramid. You can't climb on top of the pyramids now because they don't let you. But huge blocks has been cladded by limestone. Anyway, haven't really come to a conclusion, but I wasn't meant to. So just giving you a few information and sort of facts about Khufu's pyramid. Hopefully it's been of use, getting your minds thinking, your little grey cells going. Hopefully you can do some of your own research. Let's have your comments, please. This is Karl-James Langford for Video Log, Archaeology of Archaeology, Part 4, Khufu's Pyramid, Egypt.